The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.
Who's not raced since February. What a huge run back. Here's the last bend. The crowd erupts. Westmead Joe takes off and clears on. Westmead Joe, a big run. Phoenix Buddy, a terrific start. And he's still well clear here, the anti-post favourite. He's strengthened up on the back of this. Phoenix Buddy wins.
It's Barlow Premier with a 2-length lead off the final bend. At the moment, 3 Forest Skulls in second place. It's Trap 2 Barlow Premier, Forest Skulls.
Some great performances. This year's Blue Square Greyhound Derby has also witnessed its fair share of surprises. And by the time the 11 runners headed for the tracks for Saturday's semi-finals, Nick Savva's Westmead Lord, a half-brother of the mighty Westmead Hawk, was vying for favouritism. He lined up in the first semi-final as an odds-on chance, ahead of the Irish pair ULLID CONOR and Forest Skulls. Barlow Premier's withdrawal meant it was a 5-dog race.
Away they go, racing towards the first bend. Charlie out fast with 2, ULLID CONOR. Here comes 4 Blixmore as they go into the first turn. It looks perilous for Westmead Lord on the outside. To head down the far side, it's 2, ULLID CONOR that goes on from Forest Skulls. Then comes Ballymac Charlie and Westmead Lord fighting out third place at the moment. After this comes Blake's World. They come round the second last bend, and in front is still ULLID CONOR, the leader here from Forest Skulls in second. Then comes Westmead Lord. They come round the final turn. ULLID CONOR and Forest Skulls. It's a 1-2 for the Irish in the first semi-final. ULLID CONOR by half a length from Forest Skulls. Qualifying in third was Westmead Lord.
Westmead Lord missed the up and struggled to dominate as Ballymac Charlie kept him at bay to the bend at least. But the early pace of ULLID CONOR once again not in doubt as he established a race-winning advantage on the inside. Not for the first time this year, an Irish winner graces the winner's podium. Another Irish greyhound, Loyal Honcho, headed the market for the second semi. Seamus Graham's dog running out of trap 5. Oaks winner Dilemma's Flight ran out of trap 3, with Kane's Blue the first of 5 wide runners in this race in 2. But all 6 were to face an unexpected delay.
The favourites in trap 5, Loyal Honcho, needs to come away, needs to show his best pace, needs to clear trap 2, Kane's Blue, the other real fast starter. Let's find out what happens. The hare is on the move. Oh no, the traps have failed to open. Oh my word. You can hear the reaction on the terraces. They're not happy. They are not happy.
Bad timing, but surely one of those things on what had been a terribly wet day in southwest London. But groundsman John Forster played a blinder, corrected the problem, and the dogs came out to try again.
Hare's on the way for the second semi-final of the Blue Square Greyhound Derby. Here we go. Loyal Honcho in trap 5, comes away averagely. 3 Dilemma's Flight, ping down in front. Dilemma's Flight then leads here from Kane's Blue, moving up into second place. Just not quite getting round Dilemma's Flight. Loyal Honcho's placed up, heading down the far side, and 2 Kane's Blue with the advantage. Dilemma's Flight on this outside. Then comes Loyal Honcho. After these come 4. Corey Fast Trap looking for space. They come round the final bend. It's just Dilemma's Flight. She kicks on now. She's got 2 lengths clear from Loyal Honcho racing in second. Dilemma's Flight will win this battle. Dilemma's Flight the winner. Second place Loyal Honcho. And back in third qualifying Corey Fast Trap.
Out like a rocket, Dilemma's Flight is coming to the boil at the right time. She started well and rode a bump at the first bend and then repelled the strong challenge of Loyal Honcho down the back. I wonder, could she just be the first winner of the Oaks Derby double?
The Grosvenor Victoria Casino in London played host to the BGRB chairman, Lord Lipsey, Channel 4's John McCririck, trainers Fraser Black and Nick Savva, who all joined other trainers, owners, press and sponsors on Monday afternoon for the draw for the Greyhound Derby final. Blue Square are sponsoring the classic for the first time.
It's been absolutely fantastic, I have to say. I've enjoyed every single minute of it, and it's going to finish on Saturday, and I'll be so regretful because I just wish it would just carry on.
Well, you've got another 2 more years.
Another 2 more years, yeah. And how do we improve? I think that the key after everything, all the dust has settled, is for us to analyse everything and look at what we've done and see how we can improve again on it. I think the reception we've had and the thoughts and opinions on how this year's gone have been so positive that it's up to us to keep the momentum going and the impetus going and make sure that year 2 is even better.
At 12:45, the draw was made by Racing's John McCurrick under the guidance of Wimbledon racing manager Derek Hope. After the draw was made, there was plenty to talk about, as news was passed on to those who could not attend. And whilst the draw was digested over a fabulous meal, sponsors Blue Square went to work on their prices. They made Seamus Graham's Loyal Honcho the 9-4 favourite, just ahead of the Nick Savard duo Dilemma's Flight, who's 5-2, and Westmead Lord at 11-4. It's 11-2 bar those. The sponsors very generously laid a charity bet of £1,000 each way at the request of Corey Fast Traps owners at a special 33-1. But who will win this year's Derby?
Personally, I think the win will come from 5 or 6. I think those 2 dogs have got the most daily pace in the race, and it depends on what bike, but you've got the Derby Row factor. Westmead Lord's quite young, so maybe Loyal Honcho might crack out, but yeah, it's very open this year, very open.
And what chance, in your opinion, of actually laying this Derby hoodoo to rest? Will Trap 1 win in your last Derby?
Be nice, I suppose, well, particularly for the connections with Forest Schools. My only opinion, I think Forest Schools is just slightly more middle than it is to Wales, so it's definitely going to have to come out the traps, and if it misses it slightly and it's moving off in the run up, I think it could be in trouble. So I still think the winner could come from 5 or 6.
Go on, pick 1, not 2.
Go for Savage, Westmead Lord.
Definitely Loyal Honcho. I think he's got a good draw in Trap 5. He was superb in the first round, all-round pace. I mean, he reminded me of some picture on the outside, massive pace up, middle pace, stayed on strongly. I don't really think the dog's got a fault. Basically, I see him as the most likely winner.
Can he come from behind a couple of dogs?
I think he can. Don't see any reason why not. You know, he weaved his way through after missing the break in the semi-final. He gives the impression when he's on the bunny, he pulls further and further clear. He's very strong. Don't see any reason why not. His record in Ireland's exemplary, very consistent, does it from the front or can do it from behind. He's definitely the one to beat.
I know the statistic is very much against her for this flight, and I'm sure this has been a continual thread throughout conversations with connections here today, but I think she's very, very tough and very, very consistent, and I think she'll do very well. I think she'll go very, very close.
Just fingertips away from everyone's dream, a Greyhound Derby winner. We'll find out more from connections later.
One young man not at the lunch was Kevin Hennessy, 17-year-old son of Paul, who's been preparing ULLID CONOR from his lodgings at the kennels of Seamus and Teresa Cahill in Keston, Kent. Now, we first saw the dog in this country at Sunderland's festival, where he bolted home over the longer trip.
But as they come round the second last bend, surely nothing's going to catch this. ULLID CONOR for trainer Paul Hennessy, away and gone as soon as the box is open, and will make all. ULLID CONOR the winner here by a good 4 lengths in the end.
Well, like, we always knew that he was a stayer. Like, he stayed 5.75 easy enough in Ireland, and we always thought that he'd make a 700-yard dog, and like, we couldn't really predict the way he ran that night after the way he ran in the first round of the competition. But he was clear the first night and just didn't get home. Like, he'd no gallop since the run in Shelburne. He'd no real workout since the run in Shelburne, and he was going straight into that off of one trial. Just didn't get home, but his form in the race itself was brilliant. Like.
And then no worries at all about dropping him back from 6 back to 4 bends?
No, he's a class dog. Like, they all adapt. Like, he has brilliant runs over 4 bends, and he can stay 6 bends. So he's a real good dog.
But in front here, Westmead Lord only by 2. ULLID CONOR on the inside is staying on fiercely. Westmead Lord under pressure. ULLID CONOR got up.
After that impressive defeat of Westmead Lord, ULLID CONOR led home Fear Me in the second round. It was a typically battling performance. But if anything, come the semi-finals at Wimbledon last week, Forest Scholes was catching him as the line approached, as the tough schedule seemed now to be playing a part.
Yeah, like, he's like 3 runs in a week. Like, they're all going to be feeling it, but like, hopefully now he'll be a bit fresher this weekend. Hopefully he'll stay a bit better, all right.
Now, you say 3 runs in a week, but he's had an awful lot of runs in June with trials and obviously the qualifying rounds and a trial in between.
Yeah, like, it's like you come over here prepared for that. Like, it's a hard stake to win and it's a hard stake to run in general, but he's all right now. He'll be okay.
So what are you doing with him in the week between semis and final?
Well, he'll be around this twice in the morning, twice in the evening, and maybe once then at night time. Like just keep him ticking over. Like he's fit enough. Like all the runs he's had, and he was prepared for the stake at home. Like, and he'll be all right. He'll stay better this week as well.
So you won't need to gallop him this week?
No, probably not. I wouldn't say so. Like my father will be coming over later on tonight. Like, and we'll decide then. But I wouldn't say so.
Now his early round performances in the Derby were sensational.
Yeah, he ran brilliant in the first round to catch Westmead Lord, and like he ran well then, and again in the second round he came out best he ever came out. Like, so hopefully, like if he comes away, he'll have a great chance, no doubt about it.
Mobile in hand, young Kevin still got the draw live from that bloke in the light suit.
Trap 2, ULLID CONOR, Wales.
I kind of liked trap 1, like everyone was saying you don't really want trap 1, but I liked it at the start, but my father wanted 2 and the owner was pleased with 2, so well, it didn't really make a difference then.
Now you got other Irish trained dog, Forest Scholes, in 1. What do you know about him?
Yeah, he improved last week beyond all recognition. Like he came home, he was catching well all the way. I have to clear him. If I don't clear him, I say I could be in a bit of bother already.
But what about your early pace? Is it good enough to clear him?
Yeah, he hasn't really shown how good early pace he has. Like he hasn't showed his Shelburne early pace or his Sunderland early pace in this stake yet. Hopefully he's saving it for the right night.
In terms of staying ability, if he was to turn, say, 2nd or 3rd behind the early paces, would you be confident?
Actually, you'd have to be confident turning down the back straight in the Derby in 2nd or that, because like he showed how well he can stay behind Westmead Lord the first round, and I'd be pleased if he got round the first bend anywhere at all anyway.
Away from home for so long, it seems ULLID CONOR is just as unflappable as his young handler, and the razzmatazz of the Derby is unlikely to affect him.
He's a laid-back dog, like he doesn't mind at all. I shouldn't, like it's hard to know, like he's never had such nights, I wouldn't say before, but hopefully now he'll handle it all right.
And what about yourself? You've been over here for quite a few weeks now. Have you settled in?
Actually, I have, yeah. Teresa's cooking has been brilliant, and all the staff and Seamus Cal's, big thanks. Like they've helped me out so much, all of them, from Ken the chef down to Dave the driver, and Helen and Sharon and Matty and Lisa. And they've all helped me out like big time.
And what have you been doing to pass your time here?
Actually, I've been helping out Teresa and Seamus, and they've been good, like, and been going out and stuff like that.
A little bird tells me went out for a bit of 10-pin bowling. How'd you get on with Hobbsy there?
I hammered him. Irish 1-0 up anyway.
I'm not so sure about that, young man, but we'll let the dog do the talking come Saturday, after he's finished his grub, of course.
Coming up after the break, reaction to the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final draw.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Dogs. The draw for the Derby's been done, and here are the runners. Trap 1, Forest Scholes, trained by Fraser Black. He boasts a 50% strike rate and has a good record from Trap 1. That must help in his bid to become the first red-jacketed runner in 25 years to win a Derby final.
Very happy, very happy. The draw we wanted, because I think the rails plays a big part in them now. But he's good enough to a different thing, but at least we've got the last few races he's run well, and I felt if he had the rails in his last couple of races he'd have gone closer. So we're very happy, no complaints, never mind the hoodoo, we'll overcome that if we can.
Forest Scholes started his Wimbledon campaign in the best possible style. Racing from Trap 1 in the first round, he used the inside well and powered to the front approaching the 3rd bend. And connections have no fears about any Trap 1 hoodoo.
Pacey Mace is 2 away in 3rd. In behind those line of greyhounds headed by Discreet Cat with Mango Tango. Work to do to qualify. Forest Scholes proving very hard to get by. Still leads by a length from any crackjack as they run down the distance towards the line. Forest Scholes clear here as battle's going on for minor honours.
The dog's just coming to himself. Maybe the 3 runs he improved in each run, and let's hope we can put it all together Saturday night. And we're just living in hope, that's all we can do.
Trap 2, ULLID CONOR, trained by Paul Hennessy, but son Kevin has orchestrated his Derby campaign. He's won 8 out of his 29 races so far and has a 33% strike rate from Trap 2. Trap 3, Dilemma's Flight, the only bitch in the race, trained by Nick Sava and owned by Jack Elias, who's tasted Derby success before with Moaning Lad. Dilemma's Flight boasts a near 50% win record from her 45 races.
She's done everything right. She won the Oaks, the Produce Stakes and several other races, and She was well overdue in season, so we let her off in the winter. Hopefully she comes. She refused. When we brought her back racing, she appeared to have lost form, you know, and she timed it right. She's running out of her skin at the moment, so I think she must have a chance.
Nick, that's an understatement. Here she is winning in the third round of the Derby. She's able to blend good trapping with fair early pace, but she really is strong in a finish.
Down the back, Blakeswell taken on again by Dilemma's Flight. Then Highbury Lau is in third, trying to pick up. In behind those Zigzag Duchy, they go towards the last bend. Dilemma's Flight in front by a length and a half from Blakeswell, and then Highbury Lau up to the line. Dilemma's Flight goes on to score.
When she's in good form, she starts well. She did the Produce Stakes, and in the Oaks, she was in trap 2, and she had to find her way on the outside, which she prefers, but she manages. Yeah, she's in great form now, and I would have to side with her, of my 2 anyway.
Trap 4 is Corey Fast Trap, trained by Liz McNair. He's yet to win a round of the Classic, but that was no handicap to Alan Gift a few years ago. He comes into the final as the slowest of the 6 runners to the bend, but what better time to find his trapping boots?
Well, it could have been better. Could have had 3, but that'll do us.
Why do you prefer 3?
Well, you're inside all the wides, and he will go straight, so he's got a chance then, but we're not meant to be here, so it doesn't really matter to us. We're just enjoying the occasion.
Well, you're meant to be here because you qualified fair and square.
That's true. The dog's done his bit, but we're just enjoying it, and whatever happens, happens. That's the way we look at it.
He's not got his head in front, but has consistently beaten good class greyhounds to qualify, and has showed great track craft in doing so, not least in this second round battle, when eventually he took second behind Highbury Lau.
And now Fear Robin towards the back with McNiler. Highbury Lao, Seamus Graham by 3 or 4 lengths from Keynes Blue. And then Corey Fast Trap, and they're clear of the remainder as they come down the straight here. And it's Highbury Lao. It's going to be another Irish win here as they go towards the line. Highbury Lao in front. Corey Fast Trap will get up for second. And Keynes Blue has qualified in third.
Well, I'm not going to say he would need to blast out. He would need to be sitting about second, getting into the first bend. And then I would really fancy him because he's a strong running dog.
And as for his temperament, would he handle the noise?
Yes, nothing fazed him. Well, when the boxes didn't open, it didn't bother him. He was straight into the kennels and back out, ready for more. So I'm just hoping. I don't think it'll bother him. I can't say for certain, but I don't think it'll bother him.
Trap 5, Loyal Honcho, the Derby favourite, trained by Seamus Graham. Loyal Honcho has a 50% winning strike rate from his races and has the quickest calculated time of the competition, 28.56.
Well, I would prefer Trap 6, but I'm quite happy. It's the best I can get now.
So do you think Trap 5 will affect his trapping ability?
I hope not. If it was at home in Ireland, I would prefer Trap 5 because the Trap 6 and 1 seem to be little bits of handicaps at home, but here he seemed to come out of Trap 6 quite well.
Well, a dog in 6, Westmead Lord, isn't known for being the best trapper in the world, so you might still be able to get a lead up on him.
Well, if I get a lead up on him, it'll be a big help. I'd be hoping. If he leads at the first bend, I think he has a big chance. But it's a very hot race, and a little bit of luck at the traps is a big help.
Here's Loyal Honcho's quarter-final run where he posted a rapid 28.56. Usually quick to break, he has tremendous early pace, and if getting a solo around the first 2 bends, he would be a tough nut to crack. They head down the far side then, and Loyal Honcho with a length and a half lead over Westmead Lord giving chase in second. There's 3 lengths back to Corey Fast Trap as they come round the final bend, and then comes Calzaghe Boyo. They come up the home straight, and it's Loyal Honcho that's made all. Will win by 3 lengths from Westmead Lord.
You're owed a win, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got into 3 Derby finals now, and the year before that I had what I thought and he broke his leg, so you know, maybe it's never to be, but That's why I kept coming back. I just want to do it, and if I do it, then I'll be happy.
Trap 6's Westmead Lord. He boasts a 50% career strike rate, but is yet to win at Wimbledon. However, his sectionals give him a huge chance of leading on the outside, and that will be key for the youngest runner in the lineup.
Trap 6 would seem okay, you know, he's missed his break, but if he starts as well as he could, put him. So we're happy. Yeah, we're happy with the draw.
It might have been out of Trap 5, but Westmead Lord's early pace was no better illustrated than in this third round heat. He went clear of his field, and Fear Me had to dig deep to eventually beat him.
Westmead Lord has shot away though. 3 or 4 lengths from Fear Me in second. ULLID CONOR is in third place. They come down towards the home turn, crowding further back, but Westmead Lord maintains the gallop. He's still 3 ahead of Fear Me down the straight, and then ULLID CONOR. They're the qualifiers. Westmead Lord just tying up a little bit. Westmead Lord challenged by Fear Me close home.
Probably the 3 quick rounds had an effect on him. I wouldn't like to tell you exactly why. He did come off pretty tired of his quarter-final. He was much better today. It may have had an effect on him, you know, the quick rounds. Hopefully the week break will bring him back to normal.
Did you fear the worst after he missed his break in the semi-final?
Yes, definitely. I thought he was out of the competition. But to my surprise, he ran through and managed to qualify. I was very, very pleased with him, yeah.
Now just pretend for once that the 4 other dogs were not in the race. Nick and Dilemma's Flight was in 3 and Westmead Lord in 6 and a 2-dog trial. Who would you have your money on?
The Beach, Dilemma's Flight.
So that's the lineup. Where's your money going? I think it's too close to call, but forced to jump off the fence. It's Loyal Honcho and Seamus Graham for me, just from Nick Savva with Dilemma's Flight, and young Kevin Hennessy and ULLID CONOR. And don't be at all surprised if that 25-year Trap 1 jinx is finally broken.
Well, I believe it will be a straight scrap between Loyal Honcho and Dilemma's Flight, with Honcho hanging on to provide Seamus Graham with his dream Derby victory. Well, away from the Derby, the Wathcold Cock of the North gets underway on Thursday at Bellevue, with opens also on at Oxford, Reading and Walthamstow. Doncaster and Romford stage opens on Friday, while Swindon supplies the open race action on Saturday. Coventry begin their seniors Derby on Sunday, and Crayford and Nottingham provide the open action on Monday night.
The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.